It is the first edition of iBrand Daybreak, talking about your favorite breakfast show on television, and it is the first of the edition talking about the new year 2022. It's on that note I say compliments of the season and welcome to a brand new edition of iBrand Daybreak. I'm Samson Olede, and I'm not doing this alone. I've got with me
Perpetual Pastor Peter. Good morning and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
High five.
How was the weekend?
Well, it was fine. My weekend was very fine. I think just like the Christmas weekend, I spent it at home with family, and that was just it.
Bonding time?
I'll call it everything, you know. A wonderful morning to you, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to iBrand Daybreak, the first of its kind in 2022. I'm super excited and elated to know that you decided to join us this morning. Well, you know what to expect this morning. We'll start with the news updates, bringing you up to speed with stories around the world. And from there, we'll take you to the newspaper headlines, after which we have the conversation segment. You know what to expect, especially on a Monday morning. And we have some other things lined up for your listening pleasure this morning, but we'll start with the news update. And of course, Samson will be starting with that.
Yeah, the news update. Let's start from home, talking about charity beginning at home, and it has to do with the demise of the Olubadan of Ibadan. President Muhammadu Buhari has extended heartfelt condolences to the government and people of Oyo State, the royal family, the Olubadan in council, and the people of Ibadan on the passing of Olubadan of Ibadan, Oba Saliu Adetunji. In a statement by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the president described the late Kabiyesi as a visionary and compassionate leader. He urged the people of Ibadan and Nigerians to honor the eternal memory of the deceased by imbibing the virtues he cherished so much: generosity, peace, tolerance, and devotion to unity. In the same vein, the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, described the demise of the monarch as painful while expressing his condolence to the immediate family of the monarch, while APC national leader Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his condolence, described the late monarch as humble, humane, mature, and always a symbol of unruffled dignity. Before mounting the throne, Oba Adetunji made his name as a successful businessman and music and entertainment promoter.
The chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Kaduna State, Reverend John Hayab, has confirmed that 120 abducted students of Bethel Baptist High School in Kaduna State have been freed so far. He said the number of the released students includes one student who was freed on December 28, 2021, and another one who was freed on January 1, 2020. The students were kidnapped from their school on the 5th of July 2021 at Maraban Damishi, Chiko local government area of Kaduna State.
And on the African scene, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has disclosed that a suspect is being held in connection with a fire outbreak that razed some parts of the Parliament complex on Cape Town. The fire incident occurred in the early hours of Sunday, just few hours after the funeral of Archbishop Desmond Tutu. The president also stated that the Parliament sprinkler system did not function as expected during the incident. Investigations into the cause of the fire outbreak at the South African National Assembly continues.
The Guinean president has allowed former president Alpha Condé to leave the country in search of medical help. The release of Condé is premised upon the condition he returns to Guinea within a month of departure, except otherwise stated by medical personnel. The decision by the Guinean president, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, is in response to a request by ECOWAS sent on the 23rd of December 2021. News of Condé's imminent release has been met with cheers from his supporters.
And on the international scene, the Israeli Defense Forces carried out retaliatory airstrikes in Gaza Strip after 2 rockets fired from Gaza landed off the Tel Aviv coast. Fighter jets and helicopters attacked a series of targets in a rocket production facility belonging to the Hamas. Israel tanks also shelled Hamas military posts near Gaza's border with Israel. Hamas is responsible and bears the consequences for all activity in and emanating from the Gaza Strip, the Israeli Defense Forces said. Gaza terrorists fired anti-aircraft weapons at Israeli aircraft during the attack without causing any injuries or damages.
And that's all on the news update at this hour. We'll go on a very quick time out, and when we return, we'll bring you the stories making the rounds on the national dailies today. Stay with us.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. I've found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
True unripe plantain flour is 100% natural flour gotten from the processing of unripe plantain. It contains no addictive and has a net content of 500 grams. True unripe plantain flour contains vitamin A, B6 and C. It is gluten-free and rich in calcium. Consuming true unripe plantain flour helps to build and strengthen stronger bones and can be a great meal for diabetic patients. It decreases your chances of constipation as it has a high fiber content and provides you with a low-fat diet. Here are some steps to prepare your true unripe plantain flour. Firstly, mix true unripe plantain flour with hot water in a pot and gradually add water till you achieve desired thickness. Place over medium heat and turn very well for 4 to 5 minutes to get the right texture. Mold into a ball and place in the bowl and allow to cool. Serve with your choice of soup. True unripe plantain flour can be eaten with any variety of soup, be it your ofe oha, ofe onugbu, begiri, ewedu, or your miyan kuka. To get your true unripe plantain flour, contact us at 12 Olowera Isheri Road by First Welder bus stop off Omole Phase 2, Olowera, Lagos, Nigeria, or call 070-6663-8213 or 081-6397-4447. Distributors are needed nationwide.
Thanks for staying tuned. You are still watching iBrand Daybreak, your favorite breakfast show. Now it's time for newspaper review, where we'll be reviewing the major headlines making our dailies. I'll begin with the Punch newspaper, where the writer reads, National Assembly faults Buhari, insists on 6,576 extra projects, talking about the 2022 budget. And underneath you have National Assembly has power to drop and amend budget proposals, says the House spokesman. You also have lawmakers have no right to introduce projects. It is an anomaly, says Ise Shage, talking about the SAN. Shage did not speak from position of law, but lack of understanding, says Senate. So there you have it. Controversy regards the budget, and it's a tussle between the executive as well as the legislative. Moving on from there to the writers below, you have Mbaka claims anonymous DSS invitation, 6 prayers from congregation. You also have power drunk SFU adamant refuses to release Punchman's phone and ID card. And you also have food crisis to worsen as bandits kidnap 352 farmers in 12 months. That's the clash between the farmers as well as the herdsmen. And at the top right corner, you have external reserves gained $5.12 billion in 2021 on Eurobond debt, IMF fund, and others. Nigeria's inflation rate may be among world's highest in 2022, and that's the World Bank speaking there. Wike visits Ikpeazu, Bauchi governor, attacks Buhari, alleges anti-graft fight is lopsided, talking about politics ahead of 2023. And Buhari, eminent Nigerians mourn Olubadan, Balogun to mount throne. There you have it from the Punch newspaper. Grab a copy of it to read up on these headlines and get more information.
And moving on to another paper this morning, we have The Nation, and the banner headline says, Ibadan mourns. Well, that story has riders. Olubadan dies, buried. Another rider, Buhari governors, Tinubu others pay tributes, and finally, Balogun to ascend throne. That's a part of it. And then moving away from that story, 2023 poll, Jonathan meets coordinators. And we have this that reads, APC governors back single term. And moving away from there, we have COVID-19 test for State House visitors. COVID-19 test for State House visitors. So if you have any business in the State House, you would have to be tested. And then we have the rider, new rules at presidency. Another story still on the nation here says bandits kill 7 in Kaduna communities. That's on page 5. Senate probes PPRA's 200 million naira to foreign firms. That's on page 30. And we have another story still on the nation paper. Buhari, states fighting lost battle on $480 million Paris Club cash. States fighting lost battle on $418 million Paris Club cash. And finally, on the nation paper, NIMET alerts airline operators to poor visibility in 8 states. That's on the nation paper for today.
Still reviewing national dailies, we'll move on to Business Day, where the headline reads, Nigeria will need more than oil to lift economy. And that's a column you need to read talking about the outlook for 2022. Nigeria will need more than oil to lift the economy. You also have 5 ways to improve Nigeria's trade balance. That's another column there that you should read up on how Nigeria should be able to balance its trade balance. Now, talking about the Business Day newspaper, you also have the outlook for 2022. Once the government is committed to principle of silencing the voice of opposition, it has only one way to go. And that's a quote there from Harry Truman, the former president of the United States. That's all on Business Day.
And moving on to the Guardian paper, these are the stories making the rounds in this paper. 1 year after, AFCFTA still in limbo. Well, that story has 2 riders. Many countries yet to develop implementation strategy. Another rider here says sensitive products may come under liberalized list as timeline passes. And moving away from there, Naira drops to record low amid New Year uncertainties. That's on page 2. This reads, you've lost your grip on good governance. Anglican cleric tells Buhari. That's on page 2 also. Another one here reads, Imo now war zone, say monarchs and clerics. That's on page 39. And we have another one on page 4 that says, Discourse justify estimated billing of customers. Revenue targets. Discourse justify estimated billing of consumers, revenue targets. And another one here reads, Buhari, Tinubu, Oni, Makinde, others mourn Olubadan. And that's all we have for you on the Guardian paper this morning.
And that's all we have regards our review of national dailies for today. Do ensure that you grab a copy of the various dailies to be able to follow up on the stories. We'll go on a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll delve into a thick of things regards the discussion of the day. We have a guest in the house. Stick around.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
Unripe plantain flour is 100% natural flour gotten from the processing of unripe plantain. It contains no addictive and has a net content of 500 grams. True unripe plantain flour contains vitamin A, B6 and C. It is gluten-free and rich in calcium. Consuming true unripe plantain flour helps to build and strengthen stronger bones and can be a great meal for diabetic patients. It decreases your chances of constipation as it has a high fiber content and provides you with a low-fat diet. Here are some steps to prepare your true unripe plantain flour. Firstly, mix through unripe plantain flour with hot water in a pot and gradually add water till you achieve desired thickness. Place over medium heat and turn very well for 4 to 5 minutes to get the right texture. Mold into a ball and place in a bowl and allow to cool. Serve with your choice of soup. Through unripe plantain flour can be eaten with any variety of soup, be it your ofe oha, ofe onugbu, gbegiri, ewedu, or your miyan kuka. To get your through unripe plantain flour, contact us at 12 Olowera Isheri Road by First Welder bus stop off Omole Phase 2, Olowera, Lagos, Nigeria, or call 070-6663-8213 or 081-6397-4447. Distributors are needed nationwide. Unripe plantain flour is 100% natural flour gotten from the processing of unripe plantain. It contains no addictive and has a net content of 500 grams. True unripe plantain flour contains vitamin A, B6 and C. It is gluten-free and rich in calcium. Consuming through unripe plantain flour helps to build and strengthen stronger bones and can be a great meal for diabetic patients. It decreases your chances of constipation as it has a high fiber content and provides you with a low-fat diet. Here are some steps to prepare your through unripe plantain flour. Firstly, mix through unripe plantain flour with hot water in a pot and gradually add water till you achieve desired thickness. Place over medium heat and turn very well for 4 to 5 minutes to get the right texture. Mold into a ball and place in a bowl and allow to cool. Serve with your choice of soup. Through unripe plantain flour can be eaten with any variety of soup, be it your ofe oha, ofe onugbu, gbegiri, ewedu, or your miyan kuka. To get your through unripe plantain flour, contact us at 12 Olowera Isheri Road by First Welder bus stop off Omole Phase 2, Olowera, Lagos, Nigeria, or call 070-6663-8213 or 081-6397-4447. Distributors are needed nationwide.
Glad to know you're still with us. Well, we told you that we'll be moving on to the discussion segment. Well, reactions continue to trail the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed's list of achievements by the Buhari'S administration in 2021, with opposition party, People's Democratic Party, branding it as the joke of the year. With us in the studio to discuss the verisimilitude of the minister's list and to project how these sectors can be improved upon in the new year is Femi Idowu Adegoke, a public affairs analyst. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, of course, we were greeted by that particular news where we had the Minister of Information and Culture chronicling the achievements of the administration in 2021. And of note is the fact that he actually pointed out that they had more challenges in the area of security. Now, we're going to be focusing on three of these sectors. Okay. We have economy, we have infrastructure, and we have security. Okay. Of these three, which of them would you say that this administration fared well in 2021?
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to say this administration, yeah, we should commend them on the infrastructure. because the rail line and other infrastructures are coming on board. I think that's about the major thing. But even at that, it's good to have good infrastructures in place, but they are not looking at the human infrastructure, which has been the bane of Nigerian problem for over the years. Just put it at that. The human infrastructure that are supposed to use or be the beneficiary of this infrastructure, the rail lines, the road network, they don't even are not aware of what you're doing. There's lack of communication, and there's lack of what I would call social capital between the government and the people. So that, yeah, we can see here and there they're doing a lot of projects. So we can give them pass mark in that area. But when you look at economy and the insecurity, it's been with them since they came into power in 2015. So I also call them zero in both.
Okay, let's because it's a broad discussion. You know, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, listed quite a handful of achievements or proposed achievements for 2021. So let's zero it down to the three major sectors he highlighted. Let's start with security. I know you talked about infrastructure, but let's start from security. Let's review 2021, the security status, you know, for 2021, and let's see how we can project it to 2022. Now, for 2021, there were less of Boko Haram attacks in terms of, you know, bombing several marketplaces and all of that. But we had banditry on the rise. We had, you know, Fulani headsmen on the rise. There were even calls that these, you know, group of people should be termed as terrorists. So how do you review the security structure for 2021?
Oh, well, I personally, and with the little knowledge I have of the security in the country from the last 6 years, going to 7 years of this administration, they have not been tactical. And it's a big surprise because our president was a former general. If you say the Boko Haram has gone down, activity has gone down, I'll say hell no. Because it's just that Boko Haram have devised a new means. Boko Haram have become banditry, they've become kidnappers, and there are even more in our society now. Rather than they are no longer limited to the northeast. So they have actually widespread across the country now. Let's not deceive ourselves.
To interrupt you, are you now saying point blank accurately that Boko Haram terrorists are the ones who have probably ravaged, you know, other parts of the country as Fulani headsmen or bandits? Is that what you're saying?
No, not 100%, but what I'll say to you is that if you look at the entire northern Nigeria today, you can have a feel that it is Boko Haram who have devised a new means to be able to attack. They've gone into banditry, they've gone into kidnapping, and in other part of the countries, people have seen that nothing has happened to this set of people, and they've seen it as a means of business. In the south, there's kidnapping, a lot of kidnapping going on because we've seen police arrested few people, and we've seen their confession. They see it as a lucrative business now to be able to survive, and that will lead us to the economy, because the economy is total shambles.
Before you go into the economy, let's stay on security for a while. One would have thought that with all the investments that was made in security, we could see that in the year 2021 alone, a lot of investment was made in the area of arms and ammunition, and then we took delivery of 12 Tucano fighter jets and some other things really. One would have expected that with these things, more successes should have been recorded. So what exactly, what's happening? Why are we having this situation where not so much success has been recorded?
Yeah, okay. We've gotten this equipment like you've rightly mentioned, but who are we using it to fight? That's why I said we've not been tactical as a country. We've not looked at security from the foundation of it. Security is local. You're not looking at the security within the community, to the local government, to the state level. Now, because Boko Haram are no longer where they used to be. So getting all these equipment, who are you going to use it against? Those equipment, I can bet you, most of them are lying foul or doing nothing.
Oh, well, from the minister's report, he gave reports of how that they've been able to neutralize several bandits and Boko Haram and insurgents in several places.
Sorry, I think I have to interrupt you here.
Okay.
I think it's still in December or November last year. We saw what happened in Sokoto. So how will a fighter jet fight that? How will all this equipment fight that? Bandits come, get people and roast them in broad daylight.
But we've also heard of reports that fighter jets were deployed to, provide aerial assistance to ground troops in terms of bombing and clearing so that they can make forward advancements in the course of operation.
Are they able to give us the facts of what they've done with it? Nothing.
Let me take you on what you said earlier, prior to our question. You talked about Boko Haram evolving into the bandits and all of that.
Yeah.
But prior to Boko Haram's, official, so to speak, emergence in 2009, some northern states have battled with banditry for years. Zamfara State is a prime example.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, because we've not attacked insecurity from the root. Before it became Boko Haram, it started from somewhere, from the community. In the northern Nigeria has been for, let me not use, has been a feeder system where you see a lot of young people uncatered for. In Nigeria today, in northern Nigeria today, they have the highest number of children out of schools.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for decades. So, like, for example, at the Almajiri in 1992, if you look at that person now, he's 30 years old in 2012. In 2022, he's 30 years. And he's lived all his life on the street. He had no social welfare, no family welfare, nothing. All he knows is to fight hard to survive.
Okay.
And if an extremist come to him and give him succor and give him arms, he goes onto the street and fight. So we have a lot of bandits from the society, from the community, that we have not even checked. Those are the people who became Boko Haram. We need to begin to tell ourselves the absolute truth and not listen to our politicians being politically correct.
You've talked.
Okay. Go ahead.
You've talked about us not being tactical. So if we're to be tactical, what are the steps we're supposed to take? Okay.
One of the steps we need to take, for me, and I believe for a lot of normal Nigerians, is for the government across all levels, from the local government to the state government, because in fairness, Nigerians were quick to point fingers at the federal government. But we are running a democracy where we have local government and the state government.
Yes.
We don't question those ones, which are the most closest to the people. So the people now, I am calling on the people like myself, we need to get involved in our local security, our local development. We need to begin to ask our local government chairmen, councillors, what are they doing to secure our immediate environments?
Talking about securing the immediate environment, 2021 was a year we witnessed so many states, seemingly or indirectly adopt the state policing of a thing. It wasn't officially, announced, but you had, for example, in Southwest region, Amotekun, you had the Eastern Security Network, ESN, you had various states, adopt that. Do you think, and you mentioned, while you were talking earlier, that these terrorists or bandits are more of the local people, do you think that's the best way to tackle, issues of banditry, terrorism, and what have you? Talking about the local and state policing.
Yes, absolutely. If we're a federating state, all the federating units have responsibilities. You cannot have a police in Lagos and it's being controlled by IG in Abuja. Some police men in Lagos are posted to Lagos. They don't know what goes on in the local community in Ajegunle. They've never been there. And you bring them there to come and police. They know nothing about it. So like I said, policing should be local. If we are really practicing what we're talking about, that we're a federal state, our National Assembly needs to have this discussion and bring it to the front burner on state policing. If we want to actually tackle the insecurity in the country from the foundation of it, not just political statements and on the surface.
Okay, let's look at 2022 now, because it's the pre-election year.
Yeah.
And more often than not, we get to find out that security challenges are always on the rise pre-election year, violence amongst other things. Now, how can we curb, first, banditry, as well as the kidnappings, which are the things we dealt with in 2021, especially with school children being abducted? Then, for, you know, a pre-election year, the whole campaigning and politicking, basically, you know, how can we ensure that safety or security is guaranteed?
Well, it still comes back the same way. The people, for a long time, Nigerian citizens, we've not been citizens. I'm not
Exempting
excusing
yourself.
myself. We've not been citizens. You understand? We need to become citizens and hold these people responsible. And what do I mean by that? Because if we don't, by now we should know the style. We should know the route they take. This, like you said, this is a pre-election year. There's going to be a lot of political statements, political maneuvering here and there, and they're going to go their normal route to look for Togri. And most of these people who became bandits, who became terrorists in this society, are people who our politicians have engaged in the past. They've made use of them. There are informations all over the place about one or two people who we know who they are, and they're so close to the government. So they're going to come to the fore again. But the people now need to stand up and say, no, we've seen what you're doing.
Yes.
We're not going to go this route anymore.
Yes, the people.
We're going to continue in the same vicious cycle.
Okay, just to chip in, sorry I was interrupting earlier, I thought you had finished. You are saying the people need to stand up.
Yeah.
The power rests with the government. As much as the power rests with the people elect in terms of, you know, franchise, in this concern, or in this context rather, it rests with the government in terms of using its, you know, full force to ensure that the lives of its people and properties are secured. Now, if the government is failing at that, you know, duty, how do the people step in?
Okay. Yeah, maybe I should explain it further.
Okay.
What I mean, in the society, we have opinion leaders, we have NGOs, we have social organizations, what do they call them? These
international observers?
Not international observers. The CLOs, civil liberty organizations.
Civil society organizations.
Yes, we have all those people. What they need to do now is to come out. They've chased, most of them have chased against the government for long with little or no results.
Okay.
Come to the people.
Diplomatic effort.
Yes, come to the people, advocate to the people, educate the people, let them know, because we have a lot of political illiterate in Nigeria among the populace. People don't even know what, like you said, we have the franchise right as a government. Because growing up, I was told the people are the government.
Yes.
And we're in democracy now, which is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So we need to go back to our local community, every opinion leaders, the right CM, social organizations, NGOs, go to the community and begin to advocate and educate the people. Because the truth is, our politicians, our present politicians, what they do is they boycott the elite and go straight to the grassroots or to the have-not in the society and throw peanuts at them, and they get what they want. But we elites, we educated ones, we fold our hands, and then all we do is sit on handchair and complain. Rather, we are closer to the people at the bottom of the pyramid. We should begin to go to the people at the bottom of the pyramid now and say, look, we've gone this route for over 60 years. It hasn't worked. It's time we come together and begin to chart a new route for the country.
Right, okay. Thank you for that. I think very quickly we just look at the economy. The government has praised itself, and it says that, okay, it did a lot to, you know, recover the economy from recession and all of that. But then we have the PDP citing certain indices saying that, for crying out loud, if you say you've done so much, what about the fact that our debt has increased? What about the fact that even the naira to dollar, we know what it is right now? What about these other things, you know, that we can clearly see that they are not working? Looking at this back and forth between these two parties, what's your take on how we can actually do something that the common man would feel, especially with regards to economy?
Okay, yeah, with my little knowledge of economic geography, because I started my career as a geographer. So, this country, even the PDP talking, have they done anything better? Absolutely no. They were in government for 16 years, at the center for 16 years. What did they do about our economy? It was still oil dependent. The best economy that I know of that has worked is export-based economy. But the Nigerian economy has been import-based economy. And that's why we're suffering. That's why no matter amount of cushion intervention that this administration is doing, it's not going to be seen.
How do we move from an importing and consumer economy to a producing economy?
And that is why there has to be an intentional diversification from a mono economy that we presently run. Nigeria is over 200 million people, for crying out loud. But the problem is there is no ease of doing business policy in this country. They are everywhere.
Well, I remember the president actually signed a particular order, which of course was to help the ease of doing business.
Yeah, intentions are good.
Implementations.
Okay.
Even the president himself in this new 2022 budget alluded to the fact that the country's does not have enough revenue. He alluded to that fact.
We've been borrowing to service our budget for about 2 years now.
Yeah, so my question to the president and the entire administration, if you are alluding to that, we are having revenue problem, what are you doing to solve the revenue problem? Because we're not doing anything except that we're waiting, hoping that the oil money will go up in the international market. Today, the benchmark is $57 per barrel. So by tomorrow, if it drops, we're in big trouble again.
Even as a $57 per barrel, I think we the people are also part of it, because NNPC released the report days back talking about losing 193 million barrels over 11 months due to sabotage of oil facilities. And this, in the report, they also stated that in the month of August, September, and October, the corporation lost 556 billion naira, which is almost $1 billion, you know, based on exchange rate now. $1 billion can do so much to our economy.
Absolutely.
So let's look at it going into 2022, because from all indications, as you've said, it seems 2021 in terms of the economy didn't, you know, just work. There was no success whatsoever. So in 2022, what can be done differently, especially considering it's a pre-election year? We have to talk about, you know, pre-election year because it is always a factor. So what can be done differently to ensure that the economy improves this year and, you know, the standard of the living of the people, you know, increases while the cost of living dwindles?
Well, it has to be sincerity on both sides, both from the government, those in government, and the people. You were saying about what the NNPC said. Our government is a reflection of who we are. We didn't bring them from Pluto. We didn't bring them from Mars.
Exactly. The people sabotage the
exactly. So we have to be sincere with ourselves. Do we want to continue the way we are, or do we want something different for now and for future in the country? So what we need to do as a people is to be sincere, and the government has to take the lead, which I agree. The government, because that's why they have voted to become leaders, they have to take the lead. And what do they need to do now is to be sincere and tell the people and have like the social contract which they sign. They need to be sincere with it. Yeah, look, this is the problem, and this is the way how. Real practical solutions. That look, Nigeria, we are a poor nation. Forget that we have oil, but we are not going to depend on oil anymore. We need to begin to do things, put right things in place, and then let's see if the people will not fall in line.
Things like what?
I give an example earlier. The entrepreneurs, the small and medium businesses, if they are given the good atmosphere to do their businesses,
enabling business,
and they can do transactions, and people can have exchange, people will be comfortable. Even if not comfortable, they'll be okay. They will have their, you know, I'm going out today, I'm able to transact my business. Double taxations everywhere in the country. In Lagos, You are battling against the state. You are battling against the area boys. You are battling against different taxations for entrepreneurs. And most countries who have grown their economy from the inward have looked after the entrepreneurs. If you go to China, if you go to Malaysia, if you go to even the big boys of the Germany, when you go through their history, it starts from the inside. We have to grow from the inward. This one going cap in hand every time begging international community, they're never going to take us serious, because the international community looks at Nigeria and they look at our prospects, what we have, what we should do, what we can do. But we're not doing it. They just, I'm sure in their quiet time, they laugh at us.
I guess from what you have said, what we are battling with is lack of economic policies that can actually create enabling environments for businesses to thrive.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Or we might have the policy.
Okay.
It has to be
It has to be
implemented.
implemented.
Okay, quick one
Alright.
before we wrap up this segment talking about the economic discourse. 2022, how do we reduce our deficits and increase our foreign reserves?
Well, like I said earlier on, is to be, I don't know how directly we can do that now, because even the government is looking to borrow more.
Cost of governance, do we reduce?
Absolutely. Because even it is said in this present budget that expenditure on personnel is high. Why are we not looking at reducing that? Because everything they're looking at now is taxation and oil. They're not looking at reducing
The cost of governance?
the cost of governance, which is very key to even reducing our debts. But, like I said, it starts with the government. And I'm not sure this present government will do anything, because they're looking at, already, you can see all the statements going around.
2023.
They're already talking about 2023. It's a sad situation.
Okay, let's talk about infrastructure before we wrap up
Yeah.
this segment. That's another key factor, Lai Mohammed talked about, the Minister of Information and Culture. You said earlier that at the introduction of your speech that, yes, they did quite well regards infrastructure, but there was no investment in human infrastructure.
Yeah, absolutely.
In 2022, what do you expect? Not just human infrastructure now, but also infrastructure itself.
Well, with the way this administration has gone, which is what I said, even the PDP didn't do well, because we had 16 years of nosediving of our infrastructure, which they didn't do nothing, which is why this present administration has something to hold on to and use. And they don't, in fairness, we cannot take that out from this administration. They've done a lot of infrastructure, build roads. The second
Niger Bridge is to be completed in November.
Yes, the second Niger Bridge, the rail from Lagos to, I've taken that rail for myself.
Great.
From Lagos to Ibadan. So we cannot take that out of them. But the truth is that you build this infrastructure, your people cannot access it. They cannot use it. They don't have the economic power. If you say the train from Lagos to Abeokuta is 3,000 naira, how many people can afford that? They rather go on the roadside and take a bus of 500 naira.
Or 1,000 naira.
Yeah, and people will be parked, and then there's more cars on the road, more vehicles on the road. And what you're trying to avoid by developing the rail is all effort times zero. So what the people need to be educated, the people need to be empowered. I'm not saying throw money at people. People should be able to, like I said, it comes back to what we're saying. The people need to be able to earn their own living and then be able to afford to use these infrastructures.
All right, thank you so much, sir. We're pressed for time, and we'll have to end the conversation at this point. Thank you so much, Mr. Femi.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, thank you for staying with us. We're going to very quick time out, and when we return, we'll bring you more on iBrand Daybreak. Stay with us.
Powerful looks command respect, they say. The perfect body, the perfect grooming, and ultimately the perfect skin. Looks, style, and grooming makes the ultimate man. I've found a ridiculously easy way to make my skin always feel epic. My name is Neo. I found Blemiviv, and now my skin finally makes sense.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services that meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery. Ooh. Swift Dry Cleaners. Clean wash, quick delivery.
Unripe plantain flour is 100% natural flour gotten from the processing of unripe plantain. It contains no addictive and has a net content of 500 grams. True unripe plantain flour contains vitamin A, B6 and C. It is gluten-free and rich in calcium. Consuming through unripe plantain flour helps to build and strengthen stronger bones and can be a great meal for diabetic patients. It decreases your chances of constipation as it has a high fiber content and provides you with a low-fat diet. Here are some steps to prepare your true unripe plantain flour. Firstly, mix true unripe plantain flour with hot water in a pot and gradually add water till you achieve desired thickness. Place over medium heat and turn very well for 4 to 5 minutes to get the right texture. Mold into a ball and place in a bowl and allow to cool. Serve with your choice of soup. True unripe plantain flour can be eaten with any variety of soup, be it your ofe oha, ofe onugbu, begiri, ewedu, or your miyan kuka. To get your true unripe plantain flour, contact us at 12 Olowera Isheri Road by First Welder bus stop off Omole Phase 2, Olowera, Lagos, Nigeria, or call 070-6663-8213 or 081-6397-4447. Distributors are needed nationwide.
Thanks for staying tuned. You're still watching iBrand Daybreak. Now it's time for the social media buzz segment. And Pepetra, can you run us through that?
Okay, so this is a story I believe a lot of people have come across. And, okay, you already know, pastor asked his church members to strip butt stem during a service in Ghana. What do you have to say to this? Seriously. Like, look at the screen.
It's ridiculous, really.
Ridiculous doesn't cut it, Samson.
The truth is, folks have been religiously conditioned.
Look at a woman.
This is
in public.
This is
in public glare.
This is, and you can see the congregation out there. This is sheer ideological conditioning, really. And let's hear what Nigerians have to say, really. I'll take the first one here, which says these are the people that makes mockery of the church, and this is coming from Tabitha. Who says these are the people that make mockery of the church. And you can understand why she feels that way. You have Wild Boy Cass,
All right, well, that's saying religion. And then apart from that, we have Fashion Magic blog saying, may God not put us in a situation that we will be desperately in need of miracles that will fall for anything we are told. That's a big prayer, seriously.
Definitely, it's a very big one. And it just shows you how desperate people are.
For answers or something, for miracles?
Again, it boils down to you not knowing your faith.
If you're in church and you call yourself a Christian, I want to believe you have a relationship with God.
Exactly.
I want to believe you have a relationship with your Bible. Why don't you read your Bible for yourself?
Exactly. Let's take the next quote, really, because it just shows people are not believers in the true sense.
All right, and this final one, Omon P says, it's this madness or they've been jazzed, because what is this exactly?
Well, it just shows you that several folks are also of the opinion that this is wrong. You can't justify it within any scriptural or biblical, allusions. You can't just justify it. So I think we need to do more as people, and we just need to ensure that we are, being sensitive to our religious faith. Religion is a very powerful tool, and it should be used wisely and not used otherwise.
All right, finally, we have a quote for today, and the quote reads, things work out best for those who make the best of how things work out. And thank you so much for staying with us this morning. I mean, that's a very beautiful quote, one that will help everybody and anybody. I am Perpetua Fasami Peter.
Thank you for watching. I'm Samson Oleide. Till iBrand Daybreak comes your way tomorrow, do stay blessed and have a wonderful day.